I saw someone trying to argue that Nicki Minaj wasn't light skinned, that she was brown skinned. And that happens because of such a skewed version of what blackness is. Our goalposts keep shifting. And what are the consequences when the goalposts keep shifting and it shifts you out? What happens when the goalposts keep shifting? What ends up happening is that black people are required to have to look like white people to compete within blackness. Because we're running towards looking white. We're running towards having white people as the center point.
Sometimes it don't make no sense. Does it really have to? There is nothing I can say.
Hi, welcome to Maya's World. Hi y'all, I hope everyone is doing well. I wanted to make a quick little video because my mind is boggled. And my mind is boggled because I don't understand why a lot of us don't know what black looks like anymore. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Mayawa. I talk about colorism, featureism, texturism. Today we're going to be talking about black erasure. So I want to talk about different artists who have given forth information recently that they are indeed not black and how people are completely shocked by that. Someone who I want to talk about first is an artist called centralcee. If you don't know who centralcee is, he had that song and it was like, he has that lyric that was like, how can I be homophobic? Is gay. Listen, the lyrics, I'm not speaking to the lyrics, but I remember I was in the UK when that song was very popular and I was talking to some people and people were really under the impression that he was black. And I remember distinctively being like, black where? Where are you seeing this blackness? And recently it came out, or he actually even gave the information forward to affirm that he is actually indeed not black. And for me, I just felt like, I remember like when people were saying he was black and I was like, you get this feeling where you're like, you feel like you can't really say how you feel because you're worried about getting outnumbered in this belief. And so you just kind of like keep it to yourself and know like this person definitely isn't black. But the fact that so many people were genuinely shocked and how that he was able to kind of create the market of marketing himself around the ambiguity and how a lot of artists are able to market themselves around the ambiguity of race and how that's literally a privilege. He came out recently and he said, my dad is Guyanese and Chinese and my mom is English. He says, hesitating before he answers. He usually declines to reveal his ethnicity. This may be the first time he's confirmed it for himself. So you see how he was intentionally withholding his ethnicity because he was playing off of the idea that people just don't know what he is. I also think that he's had lyrics, let me know if I'm wrong, but I feel like he has lyrics where he said the N-word. So people were really shocked when they found out that he was Asian. People were really shocked when they found out that he was Asian because people really thought he was going to be Blasian or something. And it's really just giving Asian. It's giving everything but black. And I think people really struggle to realize, this is why the discussions about ethnicity and nationality is so important to know because Guyanese is not a race. There are white Guyanese people, there are black Guyanese people, there are Asian Guyanese people. So that doesn't really give us anything. But I remember people had like put together these little collages. They love doing these little collages on TikTok to prove someone's race where they're like, and they had these images that people were having. And I was just like, people just saw him with a random dark-skinned man. People just saw him with a random dark-skinned man and they saw how he dressed and how he's like appropriating black culture. And they were like, surely that's his dad. And then it comes out that his dad's not even like, they just allow it's like the braids is what confuses them. And it's kind of interesting because I feel like they know that they can get catapulted because people are unsure and nobody wants to say this person definitely isn't black. And it was really odd to me because I saw that he was from Shepherd's Bush. And I was like, listen, I know that there's black people that live in Shepherd's Bush. I get that. But it wasn't giving that. And like, I feel like it's really giving a cosplay of thug culture. Of thug black British culture specifically. And another thing that I thought was so interesting was like on TikTok, people were really arguing and being shocked when they found out that certain actors are not black. One of those people being Topanga from Boy Meets World and another person being Hara. And there was like videos with so many people agreeing, saying that she looks like a light-skinned black woman. She looks Italian. She looks, I feel like the binaries are so strong that I think people either think you're white or you're suddenly black. And like, there's so much gradation. I think people are often shocked when they find out that there are so many people in North Africa who are not black. Being in Africa does not mean that you're automatically black. If we can understand colonialism, if we can understand the Arab slave trade, then we can also be able to understand that you can be in Africa and not be black. There are a lot of Greek, Italian people who are tan, right? Spicy whites. But spicy whites does not equal black. And I really need us to really understand that. There was an interview I saw with someone called Alex Trebek, and he was talking about how in the 70s, he was involved in black culture because people thought he was black.
How did you get involved with the United Negro College Fund?
They came to me and asked if I would be willing to appear on their telethon. And I said, of course. I went to do the program, and I ran into Gregory Hines, the dancer. And somebody came up to me afterwards and they said, I saw you and your brother talking a few minutes ago. Now keep in mind, at this stage of my career, I had the afro, I had the mustache, and a very dark tan. I'm out there in the Afro-American community as a brother.
I went back and I looked at the photos. He looks Italian. And I think people feel like, all it takes is like one feature that could potentially be black, and suddenly that is it. Like if you have curly hair, very curly hair, or if you have, I've also seen people see dark skinned Indians and be like, oh, well, they're pretty much black. No. And they very much will let you know that they are not black. So I feel like these like really simple, or somebody who has like a little bit of a broader nose, and suddenly people are like, this person's black. I really think it's really important that we know who really is black, and to also censor the people who can't be anything else but black. And also too, even discussions around Tyla. Tyla is an artist from South Africa, and she's colored. And in South Africa, that is their own racial category. And when people see her, they want so badly to call her black. But I feel like a lot of times people want to call people black who they find desirable. So because they find Tyla desirable, it helps them to see that she's black. But she's someone who is making it very clear that she's mixed race, and that she's making it very clear that she's colored. And that's okay that she's making it clear that she's colored. Because we can definitely imagine that there are people who are 100% black and can't be anything else but black. Tyla is somebody who benefits from featureism, texturism, colorism. But somehow, with all those three things, people still want to be able to call her black. And I think it's because we've skewed the idea of what black is. And because blackness just keeps getting lighter and lighter and lighter. And if we always censor the people who can dip in and out, centralcee decided on a random Tuesday, I'm going to let you guys know I'm Asian. Because he has nothing to lose. Like, his career has been built off of the ambiguity. If someone can jump in and out of blackness, then why are we censoring people who can go in and out? Why not censor people who have nothing, who can't be anything but black? And so when people talk about Tyla and how they're like trying to prove that she could be black in some settings, there are people who are black in every setting. I want to hear from people who are black in every setting. And I'm never someone who, like, if someone does not want to be black, listen, we're full. We are at capacity. I'm not screaming and trying to claw to have everybody be black, because I don't feel like I need to have white people as my representation of blackness. I'm very comfortable to know that there are black people who have no other identity that they can run to. And I feel like there's like, a newer movement of people who are realizing that it's important to center black people who have no other place to go to, because the idea of blackness is that there's an experience that's shared when you are socialized and treated a certain way. I just feel like it's getting out of hand a little bit. We've lost the plot a little bit. And all of this really comes back down to the one drop rule, and the one drop rule saying that anyone who has a drop of blood is considered black. And I had my last video kind of talking about this as well, but I just wanted to speak about how people definitely use this to their advantage. I believe centralcee was really strategic with intentionally withholding his race for a long time, because people feel like it's offensive to say somebody's not black. But what's more offensive is claiming someone who isn't black. It's not offensive for me to read you as not black. And I know that some people want to be like facetious and say like, oh, you guys are saying everyone is not black. Like, you guys are claiming that nobody's black, and you guys don't understand that light-skinned people can be black. I understand that light-skinned people can be black. I know that there are light-skinned people that can be black. But when I saw someone trying to argue that Nicki Minaj wasn't light-skinned, that she was brown-skinned, and that happens because of such a skewed version of what blackness is, that Nicki Minaj has now been seen as a brown-skinned person. Maybe when she first started her career, but when I see her right now, I'm not seeing somebody who's a brown-skinned person. I'm seeing Nicki as light-skinned. Our goalposts keep shifting. And what are the consequences when the goalposts keep shifting and it shifts you out? What happens when the goalposts keep shifting and then the requirements, what ends up happening is that black people are required to have to look like white people to compete within blackness. Because we're running towards looking white. We're running towards having white people as the center point. And that's the reason why people like Rachel Dolezal can get by, right? Because she preyed off of the fact that black people are so desperate to want to have white people as the center. That's why she worked in black universities and she taught black studies, because she intentionally knew that she would be seen as recognized and validated in that because of her whiteness. If blackness actually centered dark-skinned people or black people who are unambiguously black at all times, there wouldn't have even been space for Rachel Dolezal. But because blackness will always center people who are 1/4 black or a quarter black, then you will continue to have people like Rachel Dolezal. So I don't know. We need to get back to knowing what blackness looks like. We need to get back to knowing what unambiguous black people look like. And there was a tweet, I'm going to see if I can find it. And this tweet always made me laugh, but I think about this so much because I'm like, if you had to show a black person and you know you had to show it, who are you showing? Like, let's get back, like where we've lost the plot. We got to regather. So yeah, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.